What's good, YouTube land? It's time to get primal. It's only goddamn Power of the Primes Optimus. Yeah. I was looking for this guy for quite a while. I finally found them however long ago I actually found him. And I'm finally getting around to recording. So there's a picture of the Beast Mode, Power of the Prime's Leader Class, Evolution, Optimus, Fan Vote Prime. If you can't see that corner right there. What I think that's from, if I recall, there was a poll long time ago, a couple years back, asking people what they want the next masterpiece to be, and apparently the fan vote named Optimus Primal, and I still have yet to get that masterpiece. I really want it, but I'm guessing that's why it says Fan Vote Prime, because this is the final evolution, at least when it comes to Beast Wars, of Optimus Primal. We don't talk about beast machines. Giant Transformers there, Generations right there. Choose your Prime. I still have yet to find either Nemesis Prime or Rodimus Unicronus in my local Walmart. The 12 Primes right there. A picture of Optimus Primal Form 1. And then on the back, blah 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 blah. There it comes with a tiny Optimus Primal. As the Prime Wars reach their peak, Optimus Primal is the one chosen to bear the matrix of leadership. He becomes Optimal Optimus and leads the universe into a triumphant new era. What actually happened in the show was they found the ship that the Autobots had crash landed on Earth in, and Megatron tried to kill the original Optimus Prime, so Transmetal Optimus Primal took his spark into him, and it gave him this body, or rather, this body, which has finally gotten a modern toy, which I will get out of the package right now. So here he is opened up in his beast mode, and I apologize if I sound like crap. I think I caught something, but I want to get this video done anyway. Here's his goddamn instruction. It's not quite novel, but it's freaking gigantic. And here's the collector's card, with an awesome piece of action photography that the toy really can't pull off. It's more an homage to this guy, the original Optimus toy, than it is the modern one. But on the back, we got Optimal Prima, a warrior who is completely incorruptible and pure of spark. Yeah, sounds appropriate enough. I'll take this guy away. I'll share my thoughts comparatively at the end, because I tried to do that before, and there's just spent way too much time talking about the old one. But here he is, and I'll get him off. Yeah, he's alright. I mean, he's alright. I'll get him off his stupid sled. This thing really sucks, in my opinion.
But we'll talk about that in a bit. And, you know, he fulfills all the criteria on what you want on a updated Optimus Beast mode. Except the colors are really boring. Like, I hate to bring up the old guy again, but what's so nice about him was his like all the chrome, like the blue and the friggin' maroon, like friggin' metallic maroon. That's just a fun word the fun combination of words to say, metallic maroon. Now it's just boring and lifeless, and I don't even know where the color scheme came from, because the original Optimus, like his first body, was black, was this color, and then his metallic one, I think, was purple. Like, he had some metallic purple. But where the frick did the orange, blue, and red come from? Oh, wait, because he's inspired by the original Optimus Prime. But, like, a very crappy attempt at it. Because he did obtain this body by taking in the spark and the matrix from the original Optimus Prime, and somehow made him orange. But let's take a good look at the head. Look at that giant snoot. It's awesome. Don't know where the piercing red eyes came from, because they're not accurate to the toy, and I don't know if they're accurate to the show model. It's been a while since I've watched Beast Wars Season 3. He does have a Maximal symbol on each shoulder. They're actually stickers instead of molded in detail. And unfortunately, he doesn't have the fur sculpting that his dad does. Nor does he have the cheeky Optimus tramp stamp on his chest. But he does have his guns at his hips, so he can actually shoot from the hip. That's kind of awesome. It's more like shooting from the shin, though. Does have some nice silver on his toes. Nice silver on his helmet. And on the back, he has pretty much nothing. He's hollow torso. And yeah, besides this little bit of detail, I guess, there's really nothing on the back, unfortunately. Excuse me. Articulation-wise, his head can actually finally move. It can swivel and it can go forward and back. You can use this joint, but this is a transformation joint. The shoulder joint is actually right here. It can go all the way, full 360, in and out, and all the way that, but that is also mainly a transformation joint. The wings are on joints. They have a hinge and a rotation, so you can play with them however you want. He does have poppy-offy bicep bits, but you have a bicep swivel. You also have a, excuse me, beyond 90-degree elbow hinge. Hands have always been the issue for this toy, because they're giant and orange, and nobody's ever thought to put a port for a gun in his hand. For some reason on this toy, it's actually in his thumb. I don't know who would hold a gun with just their thumb, but this toy stupidly can do it, because you can remove the gun, you can pop it in like that, or, I guess for this, the purpose of this, you can, well, the package is supposed to have you pop it in like that. A, that doesn't even look like he's holding it, and B, why give the gorilla guns? I don't know. But there, he kind of still looks like he's not holding it. He does have a waist joint. It's important in the transformation, but you can't use it. Hips can go about that far forward, that far forward, that far backwards, out all the way. if I get everything out of the way, you do get a thigh swivel, you do get a forward and backward hinge for the ankle, and you get a inward hinge on the ankle. I should actually slightly bring the camera down. But yeah, that's actually a pretty good joint if you can figure out how to use it. But I don't know. Posability wise, this guy is fun in certain ways, like he's expressive, like I enjoy... what am I doing? I had him in a pose earlier. God damn it. What was I doing? Well, he was pounding on his chest. Like, you know, a gorilla might tend to. Something like that. But we must talk about other interactivity with this thing. He does have the 4 ports on the bottom of his feet to peg in on either side of the stupid sled. You can do it like that. You can do it like that. You can also sort of force something in beast mode. Like just... It all depends, because there are 2 slots right back here that kind of fit these tabs on the side of it. So you can kind of, sort of fake something. It really doesn't work very well in this mode. There's actually something about in the instructions. Yeah, it's literally supposed to be like an alternate beast mode sort of thing. Like, it's basically like this. It's supposed to be like that, and then you take the guns and you plug them in like that. And then you have, well, come on, I hate these panels. What did the pictures show? And then you rotate the hands, and this is supposed to be, I guess it's supposed to be his full beast mode if you're not using it as a stupid sled. Yeah, I guess this is I don't know if it's weaponized beast mode or something. But it's just really dumb. And it's all it is just, he fell on his back. But it's an homage to this. It's an homage to the fact the original toy did that. And I'm not sure if I'm a fan of an homage like that. Like, it's neat that they did it. But why? What is the purpose? It doesn't even have LEDs anymore. Oh, and now he's lying on his back. So that's it for him for now. We must talk about the stupid sled. Because it's also a stupid robot. Yes, this thing does actually become the original Optimus Primal robot mode. Fold down the legs, fold out the arms, fold up the shoulder guards, and rotate up the head. And there you have it, about deluxe sized. Who do I have? Here's from a future review, Deluxe Cybertron Buzzsaw. So he's about deluxe sized Optimus Primal without the beast mode, because his alt modes are basically a chest and a stupid sled. But honestly, this robot mode is probably the best thing going for it. The fact that it's just a tiny Optimus Primal. I'll talk about something in the robot mode, but I guess they were forced to do evolution with this guy, and they're like, okay, like they gave it 1 second of thought and just blurred out the most stupid thing they could think of, but somehow has one of the best robot modes for at least Optimus Primal that I've seen in a while. I have to actually talk about his detail. He's got red paint on his chest, a giant red maximal symbol, a fairly decent head sculpt with red eyes as well. What is with this toy and red eyes? The details are fairly accurate to what I recall from the Maximal Leader's robot mode. Unfortunately, he has this massive jank on his back. It's just horrible. And articulation-wise, shoulders, universal joint, forwards, they can go out. You've got a bicep elbow ball joint with this on a pin hinge for transformation. The head is on a swivel, nothing at the waist, the hips are ball jointed, fairly decent range of motion. You do get a thigh swivel, and you get a dual knee joint, mostly for transformation. But the stupidest thing about this toy, and I'll show you it when I bring him back to said mode, is hold. Actually, I don't want to. Oh, somebody's playing music outside. I'm folding the head that much for reasons that are fairly hilarious, in my opinion. Fold it. You fold the sled bit all the way out, and you flip up. If I can actually get his head out of there. I really don't know how much of that was on frame. I did it again. I was talking about it recently in that convention video on my friend's channel that you should totally go watch. That I tend to focus more on the toy than the... There you go. His two heads can stare at each other. I feel like I'm in the head museum in Futurama. Or maybe I need a third one for all the cretin jokes I can muster. But there you go. This is a presentation tray for floating heads. Yay! Now let's get to the actual main part. The robot mode. And I have to transform old man Optimal over there. So I'll be right back. Alright, so we'll start with this, and we're done. There's actually slightly more to do. It's pretty much it. If I can get his head out, snap it in place. That is a terrifying sound. Rotate. And we're good with the evolution thing. So turn this guy into a robot. You're going to start, rotate and fold the head away. Rotate the shoulders up on this joint. Rotate the waist. So you're over here. You want to, this is also, you got to snap that all the way. So it looks like that. I'll do it again. Knee joint. Did I mention he has a knee joint? I forgot. I think I didn't mention the fact that he actually has a pretty deep knee joint in beast mode. My bad. I hate that noise. And then you can close the shin panels. Now we're going to take the arms all the way up And the camera up. Take that. You can rotate these up if you wish, which I do. And then rotate the elbow. He's already dancing. He's already dancing. Pop off these pieces. Couldn't think of a creative word. And plunk them onto the tops of his shoulder dealies. Come on, there we go. And then rotate the hand and rotate the thumb so it looks like a regular fist. Come on. You're going to do the same on the other side. Well, I hope my camera stays working. It doesn't... People who know... I've talked about my camera before, but the spring keeping the battery pack there is just too strong, and the panel covering it is broken, so I have to cover it with a shit ton of tape just to be recording like I am right now. And then you're going to take this, pop this in, and it's going to tab onto those with those. In there you have an Optimus and a low battery in his robot mode. And it's a very accurate, just an homage to this big glumping getter of a thing. Oh, bend his elbows down. So you can see they're pretty much the same thing, although this one is a bit tidier. The Power of the Primes one is a bit tidier with the whole head reveal mess and light piping, gun piping. I swear these guns are just homage to these things that popped out of his neck. And fear not, you can plug them into his neck. Oh, and the tiny Optimus can also hold them, which looks ridiculously oversized, as you would expect. So yeah, we've gone for the full-on homage to his old man, and there lies my problems with the Power of the Primes. They've gone so far to homage the original toy, but I like the original toy so much it's hard for me to take a modern homage to it. So like, it's hard for me to like this more than this. We have to talk about this guy though. His robot mode eyes are red, even though on this guy you can clearly see his eyes are green. And if you want, you can take apart that, unscrew that screw, take apart the head, and paint the eyes green. Now he has the Matrix of Leadership in his chest, which I don't think was ever this color, but hey, what do I know? And I believe it also has a light piping feature, but I'm not going to mess with that on camera. Anything different in articulation? No. No, absolutely not. Nothing is different. This head can also swivel. You can also store the guns on his shins if you don't want them in this mode. If you don't want to put them on his neck. And the thing I want to talk about is you can actually, if you had a spring-loaded thing, you could remove the pin, and actually there's a pin right here. This hinge right, this joint right here is a pin. You could remove the pin, and you could actually have this Optimus Primal separate, and keep this part for the robot mode, and it impacts absolutely nothing other than he won't have a stupid sled anymore. Now, I might do that, and I might film a video doing it, I'm not sure. But apparently, completely off point, he does have something that his old man doesn't, which is ports for Titan Masters / Prime Masters. That looks really stupid. It doesn't look much better on his biceps either. In fact, I couldn't even figure out what that was for a while, until I realized it was the size of a... But this toy, it's hard for me to like it. It's hard for me to like it more than its dad. Because the plastic, like, I can now understand why G1ers complain about modern toys never being as good as G1. Because this has so many memories for me. I had this toy as a kid. This is one of my all-time collecting highlights because I found him at a Salvation Army for a couple bucks. This is the exact same condition I played with him as a kid. So there's so many memories tied into this guy that this toy can't take its place. Like, they're just the same thing in my head, and I'll just play with this one. But I still recommend the new one. Like, there's also a thing I wanted to talk about, inflation, because this guy is solid. Like, he actually weighs a little bit. This guy, I could chuck him and he wouldn't do anything. Like, it would do more damage to him than anything, like, he hitting. Like, you can see the hollowness in his shins, his arms, biceps, freaking his torso. And this guy is probably more expensive than this guy. If they were on sale for the same if they were both on the shelves, I'm thinking in his day, he was probably cheaper than this guy is now. Like, it's somewhat ridiculous, man. I didn't realize it until I had two toys of this like the same toy that I love. Plus, this color scheme is much more boring than his old man's. Fancy chrome and giant sticky out battery pack and the wheels. This toy doesn't even have the wheels. This toy doesn't even do the two other modes that this toy can do. This toy has a jet mode and a land-based vehicle mode. That's more of a tank than a car. And this toy can't even do them. It costs more, and it can't do half the stuff that this one can. I don't know. Maybe that's just me ranting. It doesn't even have the wheels. But for modern reimagining, if you can't pick up the old guy, which you sure really should be able to, I saw him freaking on sale at Ottawa Geek Market. But it is nice to finally have a complete Optimus. Oh, and one other thing I just remembered that I didn't show. The guns on the picture, you can combine the guns into an absurdly long stick of a gun that looks really stupid, especially with him holding them. Actually, it's not worth the hassle and the battery life to get Optimus Primal to hold the guns, but I mean, he's a good toy. He's a good modern toy. There's the caveat there. He's a good modern toy. Here, I'll give you a quick comparison with good old Scrotumus Prime. The other two leaders and his great ancestor Optimus Prime. There are the 3 leader molds available in Power of the Primes right as it ends. And if you don't like this color scheme, then do I have a good news for you. Also available is it was a convention exclusive, but it's a repaint of Optimus into Optimus Primal's black and red old school colors, called the Throne of the Primes, because he came with a cardboard throne and a scepter and a staff weapon that can hold all of the, like the throne can hold most of the Prime Masters, and the weapon can hold like 4 Prime Masters, or like 4 severed heads if you want. So maybe that's more your style, so maybe that's worth looking at. I don't know. I was at Toronto Fan Expo, and I saw him on display, and I just didn't feel like going to ask how much he was, because I saw him as well on display for $90. He is not worth $90. I paid about $60 for him. That's the limit I'd pay for him, not the $90 to $100 you'd probably find on eBay. But yeah, my ranting aside, that is the end of the video. Thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed, and until next time, keep it weird. Well, that's just Prime.